Welcome. I'm so happy that we're doing this.
Me too.
I feel like we're going to satiate a lot of people by
Yeah,
talking.
we've had this idea for like 2 or 3 years, so it's good.
Yep. I think you started this document of questions in 2022.
Dang, that's insane.
I know. I feel like you and I have always been like, we should start a podcast and like we should make a song. And we do have people always ask me, they're like, do you have songs with Roniit? I'm like, you have no idea.
They're not the songs you think, but they are songs.
They are songs. I feel like one of these days we have to release a Bone Star original.
Oh my God. I just feel like that project, I want it to be like a thing where anyone can release as Bone Star if they're in our friend group, like
Yeah.
in our friend group and they make like a funny country song, they can like
Hmm.
Bone Star.
I love that. I feel like that would like a collective.
Yeah.
And we could make really cool merch for it. And like, I'm just imagining Beryl and Daryl be, being released.
Same.
But
Well,
yeah.
okay, I'm gonna dive into some of these questions, but first, I just like have an idea of us maybe talking about like how we met or like how we
Yeah.
became friends, if we can even remember,
Yeah.
because I feel like we kind of don't remember, but
Yeah. Okay.
what's
How
your take on how we met?
I know, I always love asking people this. I feel like my take on how we met was through the Vocalist Sanctuary on Facebook.
Yeah.
And that was like 10 years ago, right?
Yep.
Which is crazy.
I think
And
like Anna Yvette started it, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I think she did. And I should look. Oh, it says your group. So I think
Started.
yeah, I made it.
It's all your fault.
I know, I started it. Okay. So it has Cash for Gold, Bella, Bijou, Alice, you, Mackenzie, Molly, Laura Brem, Anna Yvette, CL, and Katie. So Katie from Coven, love her. Um, and Moons is Molly.
Wow.
Yeah. Aw. Oh, okay. It says 7 years ago. So we made it 7 years ago.
Oh, and Mothika too.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, so cool.
Well, thanks for starting it. It definitely led to some stuff.
I know it did, which is cool and crazy to think about how life, but I think this is all women in music. So I don't think Justin would be in this one.
Oh, I
Yeah.
swear I thought he was in it. Well, I don't know. Okay, so maybe we met here and or we met on Facebook because you added me to it, but I remember we met in person the first time. I think you had a show in LA in like
Hmm.
2018 and
Yeah.
I was living up in the mountains and me and Jeff drove down like an hour and a half to come to your show.
Yes.
There was like an after party at Justin's house, I think.
Yes, that was 2018 at the Roxy. But
Mhm.
it weirds me out because I remember like meeting you, but that did not feel like the first time I met you.
Hmm.
You like to me, you've always been this character like in my life that I'm like, ah, Roniit. Like, so it didn't feel like the first time meeting you. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I
And then
agree, but I don't know.
yeah, so it had to have been that. And then the second time I met you, you came to another one of my shows with Jeff, and you brought me a rock and a feather from the mountain. And I
Mhm.
still have both of those.
Yeah, that was in you were playing in like Anaheim or something or like
Hmm.
but yeah, so then we had those interactions and then we were both going through like really hard breakups and basically I was like, "Come visit me in the woods." And then you never left.
Hmm. I know. I was like, okay, I came for a month, and then you were like, you should move in with me, and that was so fun. So, yeah, that was one of the most like healing parts of my like journey because I don't think I would have made it through that breakup without coming and staying with you, dude.
Me
Oh my
neither. We would
God.
sit for like hours reading our journals to each other.
Crying
Sad.
and making egg tacos.
Yeah, it's a really sad
Yeah.
time. We did it.
Oh, we did. We made it through, and we're not even like sad about it anymore, which is cool.
Yeah, no,
So we
I thought I would never get over that. So,
same. I remember we were like, we're gonna be sad forever. This is how it's always gonna be. But the mountain really did like Oh, I feel like it healed me and like it changed who I am as a person, like truly living with you and like, oh my God, I'm like, I could get real corny. Like straight up being friends with you has like shaped the way that I like view myself and like being a woman in music. Like it really gave me a lot of confidence, dude.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm grateful for that time too. It was needed and like, yeah, I was dying of heartbreak. And then I remember you came and then you left for like a week at one point to go get your car. And I was like, no, like, not okay. Come back.
Oh, I know.
But
I was so sad the day that I left. I remember crying like the whole time I flew away. But then, yeah, driving down with all my things to move into your upstairs was so fun.
it was really good. Good for
Hmm.
Okay, so my next question is, do we want to go fun question or music industry?
Ooh, should we, I don't know, should we bounce between both?
Yeah, pick
Okay.
two.
Music and music industry.
Okay. What was the first time you ever felt successful with your music? What happened?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, Well, I know there's another question here about like, do you feel successful? So I feel like this kind of ties into it. I still like don't feel successful, which is sad because like I should, there's tangible evidence of like success, but I think you're always chasing the next thing. And like I'm trying to remember like the first time. I think like the very first thing for me was probably when I had a remix of, which is so funny. I had a really weird lucid dream about this specific song last night. We had a remix cover of The Funeral by Band of Horses, and it was like charting on Hype Machine. I think I, yep, I think I was like 20 or like 19 or 20, and I was like, this is the coolest thing to ever happen to my career. Like, I'm on a blog, because I grew up in the middle of nowhere and like everyone always told me like, oh, you're never gonna be anything, like good luck, like get a real job. And so I remember being like, yeah. So probably from a blog. What about you? What was your first success experience?
Gosh, it's hard like thinking back that long because this was so long ago. Like
Mm-hmm.
11 is when I like started doing things. So
So
I would say like
crazy.
my first would maybe just be like this little SoundCloud, like just getting comments on SoundCloud in the very
Mm-hmm.
beginning. It's like the craziest thing for someone to just say they were living in another country listening.
Yeah.
Blew my mind
Yeah.
back then. And then I would say like my first like industry moment was getting a placement, like my first placement, which
Mm-hmm.
was in the Loft trailer, but it was like an instrumental version of my song. So my voice wasn't even in it, but it was like a
Mm-hmm.
movie trailer.
Baby,
They
I will
used my
let you fuck
song.
me
I think
over.